First, let's determine how much burial insurance you're looking for. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you single, married, widowed? Hey, man, I don't really have time for all that. Get to the price. That's a big red flag to me, right? Well, I understand that you're just looking for the cheapest thing. That's not always the best option. I don't even know if, we'd be able to help you out. So there are a couple of questions I need to ask first, just to make sure that I can get you the best rate first and foremost. But you seem pretty concerned about the price. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Why are you so concerned with the price? Like, it just becomes a natural conversation, right? Oh yeah, I'm shopping rates. I'm getting to the quotes. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll spare you the sales pitch, right? And we'll just jump right into the quotes after I find, the best rate for you. So are you single, married? Who are you trying to leave it to? Right. And then you get right back into the script every time. Some of us, we try to like validate the fact that, we know what we're talking about and stuff like that. And then you'll just jump right into it because you try to get into their shoes. Like, what if I was just looking for the price? I wouldn't want some asshole telling me, oh yeah, I need to know what you need it for, right? But that's not the case, okay? You have to stay with the script and do not feel bad if they tell you, dude, I just want the cheapest thing, whatever. That's a huge red flag. That business is not gonna stick. Like, they can go get a Globe Life or an Accidental for like pennies on the dollar if they really just care about price, really. So are you working? You still retired? Yeah, I'm working, right? So our clients usually have one preferred person that they trust to handle their final wishes. Who's that person for you? Who would you like to receive the cash payment when you pass? So you're going to use all the information that you're getting from these questions. And I hope you guys are writing it down either on pen and paper or somewhere in your computer, right? What you say can and will be held against you in the court of telesales. Remember that. I take that so serious because I'm going to use any little bit of information, any little bit that you give me, and I'm not going to like switch the tables on you. I'm going to hold you accountable, right? The same way I hold Colton accountable for telling me he wants to be financially free, right? The same way I'm going to hold Travis accountable for saying that he wants to own his own business, right? It's the same exact thing, but you're going to tie it to a beneficiary because that's all this is about, is protecting their loved ones for the day when they pass away, right? So I'm writing everything down. Oh, this is going to be for, my kids. Great. How many kids do you have? Right? I have 4 kids. Well, that's good to know, because if they have 4 kids, I'm going to ask, are you going to leave it to all 4 of them? So start painting a picture. The whole time we're pitching, we're painting, right? The whole time we're pitching, we're painting a picture for our clients. My goal on every call is to make them imagine they have a policy in their hands before they ever make a decision. And we'll tie that up after the needs analysis here, right? So how many kids do you have? 4. Oh, you got 4 kids. Are you going to leave it like 25% across the board? Or did you just have one in mind that you wanted to leave it to? Well, I'll probably just leave it to my oldest, right? So I'm literally taking everything they're saying, and we're going to tie that back with the very, bottom part here of the script that we'll get to. So great, you're going to leave it to your oldest. Now tell me a little bit about that. What would happen if, if you passed away tomorrow, God forbid, right? Would he or she be able to take care of any final expenses that would come their way, or what does that look like? Well, no, actually, they don't have any money. So they wouldn't be able to. So they basically have to do a GoFundMe or pass the hat around the funeral or something like that. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm trying to get a quote and trying to get something affordable. Da 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 da. So I'm constantly I'm constantly building the need. I'm constantly getting my clients buy-in. And a lot of the times, especially when we're dialing outbound, these thoughts have already been in their mind. But when we call them, they're gone, right? It's just like when you're hungry. Like you think you want like a Big Mac from McDonald's because you're starving. There's a quote that I heard, right? And I hate to freaking use quotes all the time, but pleasure lies in the appetite. Right? The pleasure of eating foods lies in being able to have an appetite. You're creating an appetite, okay? And they've had it before, and that's why they're a lead, because they had a hunger to protect their loved ones. The problem is they may have gotten quotes before you got to them, or whatever the case is, but you can always build that appetite back up, right? So folks are usually interested in speaking with us for one of 2 reasons. They either have no coverage at all, or they want to burden their loved ones. So that's literally the same question we just asked. What would happen if you passed away and would they be able to cover that? Or they may have some coverage, but with the inflation, they're concerned it may not be enough coverage. They may just want to add a little bit more on. That being said, do you have any coverage currently, or have you ever? Right? No, I don't have any coverage. Okay. Mostly, I want my clients to have peace of mind. This is about helping people protect their loved ones. So one of the biggest concerns of the people I speak with every day is just to make sure their family doesn't have to dig into their pockets or pay for any funeral costs. Now, notice how I said all of that just up here at the top, right? Folks are usually, or I'm sorry, up here. I'm literally saying the same thing from down here, but I'm just asking more questions. Instead of me telling them this, I'm trying to make them tell me this. Right? What would happen if you pass away tomorrow? Would Johnny be able to pay for your funeral? Well, no, they'd have to dig deep into pocket. I'm literally making them say that, right? Is everybody following me, or am I jumping around too much? I jump around a lot, you know what I'm saying? I really do. But I just want to be real. Like, this is how I pitch it. It's still in the script, right? But if you ask the right questions, more oftentimes than not, you're going to build a better need, right, for the client by allowing them to admit that they need this, okay? Now, what is your main concern? Is it to leave a little bit behind? Is it just to cover those final expenses? Yeah. And there's no right or wrong answer here, right? So whatever they tell you, well, yeah, I just want Johnny to take care of my dog when I pass away. So let me make sure I understand this. When you pass away, you just want Johnny to be able to cover your cremation so that he can take care of your dog, right? So we're using what they say to hold them accountable to this policy, okay? Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had to, bury someone, or, and you can make a joke of that. I mean, the way this is worded is kind of funny, right? Like, yeah, you're not a hitman. Like, you're not going to have to bury someone, but like, have you ever had to take care of a funeral, right? Have you ever had to take care of a cremation? If yes, you have a way to go here. If no, you have a way to go here, right? Well, that's never an easy thing to go through. So let me offer my condolences. Who was it? So you're just asking more questions about their experiences. Open up the bandages, right? These are old wounds that people felt in the past. So you're going to just re-enter that portion of their mind that they want to keep locked so bad, but you just have to have empathy as you do this as well. And if you guys have experiences of having to take care of final expenses, or, your parents' cremations, or sisters or kids, use those experiences, man. These are real people, and they don't want a robot pitching them, but they want an expert who can sympathize with them and understand their situation. Have you guys ever heard the quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care? You guys have heard that, right? And this is what you're going to do. You're just going to build up that trust, because you're going to show them, hey, I actually care about your situation, right? This is what separates me from a big box business. You can go online and go get a quote in 5 minutes, but with me, you got a friend. You got someone to talk to, and we'll figure out exactly what your best bet is, right? Was that unexpected? What was the experience like? I'm sure it was very stressful for you. And I'm sure that you don't want Johnny to have to go through the same thing you did. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, definitely don't. So if there was a way to get you everything paid and the arrangements handled, would that make you feel better? The word feel, love it. If you guys can use this word more in your script as opposed to think, how do you think? What do you think about that? Well, how do you feel about that? That's a much better way to say that. Then you understand the importance of having a plan to take care of your own funeral and burial expenses, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, listen, Noah, I really feel comfortable moving forward with you. It's obvious you have a need and you really care about your family. Now, I promise I'm going to do everything I can, and I mean everything, to get you qualified for one of these Texas approved plans and any additional free benefits that may be available in Texas as well. Okay. Now, have you thought about your wishes? Is it a traditional burial or a cremation? This part, guys, is extremely important. I want you guys to look at this and go, damn, this is long, because it's really not that long. Like, this is 7-page script. I've seen 15-page scripts. If there's anywhere where it needs to be long, it's right here in this section, identifying the needs. All of this, you guys should be saying verbatim. And if not verbatim, you shouldn't be skipping not one of these questions, right? You should not skip any of these questions. If you skip these questions, throw the sale down the drain, because you're pitching on price. You're literally pitching on price if you don't have any of these questions. And that's okay, right? We need to know what to say in order to say it. If we don't know what to say, we're not going to say it, right? I mean, it's pretty simple. So do not skip this needs analysis. It is the most important part of the script. So let's build a need really quick. Let's, Kenny, you're off mute. I know you like to engage. Let's go through this script right here, and we'll start from here, identifying the needs. We'll skip this one. So once we get here, we'll just stop. Fair enough?
Yeah. Where do you want me to start?
So we're going to start right here at the top, and I'll blow this up just in case.
I adopted a formula.